there was this movie that came out, and it was called The Three Ninjas. Do you remember this?
Oh, is that with Chris Farley?
No. It was some weird movie where like these three brothers go. It was almost like Karate Kid, but for the 90s, and they were all like under the age of like 11 or 12.
Okay.
And the guy who plays, I believe, you guys have to look this up, but the guy who plays the main guy who teaches them how to be ninjas is the guy from Karate Kid, the old guy. What's that? Mr. Miyagi.
Oh, Mr. Miyagi?
So it was like a weird thing where he's playing the same type of role, I think. But it was like, it was over the top. It was like these three kids are like 10, 11, and 12. They're three brothers. Yeah. And then, of course, like a Home Alone type thing where they're like, they learn to be ninjas and they're like beating up whole adults and doing all these weird things. And I just remember I was probably like, I don't know, maybe 10 when it came out. And we watched that. And me and my brother, who are a year and a half apart, we just became obsessed with being ninjas. Dude. Like we were dressing in black. We're trying to hide up on the ceiling. We're jumping on people. We're kicking people in the privates. Our friends out in the front yard. My mom was like, "What has gotten into you?" We're like, "We're the Three Ninjas." Like, two.
It sounds like a library movie. Like you know how library movies are like the Netflix, the old Netflix. Like
it was definitely one of those. It was definitely one of those.
Netflix has terrible movies on it.
Hold on,
that's how the library used to be.
I'm gonna look it up right now because now it's bugging me.
Right.
The three. I think it was called the Three Ninjas.
But I do remember trying to dress up like characters, trying to be Rocky, trying to be anything that Sylvester Stallone was, or man, it's like tough guy.
Here it is on Wikipedia. Yeah, the Three Ninjas is a series of action comedy family films about the adventures of three young brothers who are trained in their Japanese grandfather in the art of ninjutsu. Victor Wong is the only cast member to appear in all four films. Okay, 1992 it came out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was 11.
Yeah, and then they made just like a whole bunch of them.
Are you
like Three Ninjas, knuckle up, Three Ninjas? And they just kept putting them out for probably like $800,000, like low budget B movies.
You can still buy it for $5.
There you go, right on Amazon. Three Ninjas.
Wow.
I don't know who was in. I don't know if that guy was in it though. I might have been wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, there were other types of movies though. I mean, I remember this one movie called Teen Wolf with Michael J. Fox.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that movie where he, like, turned into a werewolf?
Yeah, standing on the school bus, rips his shirt open and starts howling.
The bus on the...
or the van or whatever.
On the van, yeah. My favorite quote from that movie. So, like, the cool guy is on the other team, on the red team, and then there's Michael J. Fox's team. They're yellow, the yellow jersey guys. And anyway, there was this one guy that was bigger on Michael J. Fox's team.
Okay.
And the cool guy says to the bigger guy, he goes, "Shoot it, fat boy."
Shoot it, fat boy.
And he's like behind the 3-point line. And he shoots it and he makes it.
Yeah.
And then he's got like this face like, "Oh yeah, in your face," or whatever. But it was total 80s when it's like, "Shoot it, fat boy." Because he just gives him the open shot.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. But yeah. I mean,
okay, I got one that you've probably never heard of, this movie.
I don't
but
know.
People who grew up
I got some library
in
movies.
the 80s and 90s. This was all strictly from like, I think it was from like Focus on the Family.
Okay.
So it was like they produced the movie and wrote it, and it was just strictly for like Christian families.
Oh.
It was called the Buttercream Gang.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay. If you comment on this video or this podcast, if you guys have heard this, you're going to laugh. But it was so cheesy looking back on it. So it was about this group of kids, like neighborhood kids.
Okay.
Kind of like Sandlot-ish.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And they had a gang in a treehouse. And they're all like under the age of like 12.
Okay.
They're like 10, 11, 12, maybe 13, right?
Yeah.
And there's this, in the very first one, they're all friends and they're hanging out and they're these little lessons. One's a newspaper guy and he gets a lesson from the local youth pastor. And it's like all very, American Pie type stuff.
Yeah.
Right down the middle, Christian stuff. And then the one friend, Pete, has to move away to Chicago.
Oh, wow.
Right? And
he's going to the big city.
Right. And he comes back in 6 months and it's so cheesy. He's just got like a rolled up bandana on, like a headband.
The cool guy now.
And now he's got like a all black, like button up, cholo kind of.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Is he in a gang?"
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. And Pete's changed. He's in a gang, right? But it's so funny because the reason why he was so bad is because he went to Chicago. He joined a gang, but they steal from convenience stores. They steal like candy bars. And he steals $8 from his aunt. And he's like made as this like, you know what I mean? It was like so over the top.
Right.
But that's like all we were allowed to watch as a kid. We're like, oh, Pizza Rebel.
Yeah, right.
He sold some prepackaged Dolly Madison, cherry pies from the convenience store. And that's what made him a gang.